Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be walking you through how to build a simple network using Cisco Packet Tracer. For those who don't know, Cisco Packet Tracer is a network simulation tool, and it lets you design, configure and troubleshoot computer networks. If you'd like to follow along, you can download this off Cisco's website and it's free. Okay, so I'll be creating a basic setup with 4 PCs, 2 switches and 1 router. Don't worry if you're not overly familiar with these. I'll explain a wee bit more as we go along. Okay, once you open Cisco Packet Tracer, you'll see a blank workspace like this, and this is where we're going to build our network. A network is really just a group of connected computers and devices that can share resources. Okay, so if you look at the bottom left hand of the screen here, you can see icons, and these represent the different categories of devices that we're able to select. So we'll come here and we'll select end devices. An end device are just devices people use to access the network. So PCs are used to access the network. So let's get some PCs out. Get 4 of these. Okay. And now we want 2 switches. So we'll go to network devices and we'll select switches down here, and we'll select 2 of those. And switches are just network devices that connect multiple devices within the same local area network. It allows them to communicate with each other. And finally, a router. We'll get one of those. And routers connect different networks together, so it'll be connecting our local area network to the internet, and I'll be creating 2 smaller subnets within our local area network. So we'll come down here and we will select our copper straight through cable, and we will select fast Ethernet 0 on our PC, click the switch and select fast Ethernet 0/1. We'll select copper straight through again, and on our second PC we'll select fast Ethernet 0, and on our switch fast Ethernet 0/2, and again on our third PC over here fast Ethernet 0, fast Ethernet 01, and our last PC fast Ethernet 0, fast Ethernet 02. And fast Ethernet is just a network interface that supports data transfer rates up to 100 megabits per second. Okay, so now we go into our copper straight through cable again, and we want to select gigabit Ethernet 0/1 and gigabit Ethernet 0/0 on the router. Again, copper straight through, and last one, gigabit Ethernet 0/1, gigabit Ethernet 0/1 on the router. And gigabit Ethernet supports faster data transfer, up to 1 gigabit per second. Okay, so now we're ready for our configuration. So we need to add IP addresses to our devices. An IP address is a unique number it's given to each device on a network, and it really just allows the devices to find and communicate with each other. So we can start with our router, and if we double click, we go up to the command line interface, and we see here that it'll bring up the command line where we can type commands to configure the router. And it says, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? I'm just going to type no for that and hit return. So we need to type enable. What this does is this allows us to enter privileged exec mode and gives us more access to configure the router. We then need to type configure terminal. And that brings us into then global configuration mode, and this is where we can make changes to the router settings. Now we want to configure the gigabit Ethernet interface, so we need to tell the router which interface and what IP address to attach to that interface. And we do that by typing the interface. So we want gigabit Ethernet, and it's 0/0 interface, and we hit enter. Now we want to say, okay, give it this IP address, and you put in your IP address. For this demonstration, we'll use 192.168.1.1, and we're going to give it a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This is a Class C subnet mask, and it's just a 32-bit number, and it's used to divide up an IP address into kind of network and host portions. And we hit enter. And then to activate this interface, we write no shutdown. No. Okay. Now we can see the interface state has changed to up, and we will type exit. And we will do the other interface. So we have just configured this one here. As you can see, this turned green. Now we want to do this one here, gigabit 0/1. So we come back to our command line interface here. And again, we want to tell the router what interface we are working with. So interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1 this time. And the IP address we will give it is IP 192.168.2.1, 255.255.255.0. So you can see I've selected two different IP addresses, so two different subnets. And this is to create separate network segments. Each of these subnets will represent a different network, and by assigning these different subnets to the router interfaces, we're effectively dividing our network into two parts, which helps manage the traffic more efficiently and improves the security. And the devices within the same subnet can communicate directly, while the devices in different subnets communicate through the router. So it allows for more control over the data flow between the different parts of the network, really. So you can think of it as two different departments, maybe one's finance and one's delivery department. Okay, so we'll just no shutdown. Activate that. And that's up. Okay, so let's add our PCs into our different subnets. We'll come here to PC 0 and we'll double click. And if we go to desktop and IP configuration, and we will give this an IP address of 192.168.1.2, and that's automatically filled the subnet mask in. Now the default gateway will be the same as the IP you gave to your router interface, so it's the gateway. Okay, so that's 192.168.1.1. So that's determined that's on that subnet. Okay, we'll exit that out and we'll go to the second PC that's on that subnet and desktop IP configuration. And for this one, 192.168.1.3, and again default gateway will be 192.168.1.1, the same IP address you give to the router. Okay, now we'll go over here to our second subnet and we'll double click the PC on it, and we'll go to desktop IP configuration, and here the IP is 192.168.2.2. It's on the different subnet. Okay, same subnet mask, but the default gateway is different. The default gateway again is the same IP as you gave the router interface, so the gigabit 0/1, so that's 192.168.2.1. Okay, it's not done. Finally, desktop IP, so 192.168.2.3, and subnet mask 192.168.2.3. I typed that in wrong. Okay, default gateway again 192.168.2.1. Okay, now if we've configured these correctly, we can use a ping command, and this will send 4 packets across our network. And if we get a response, there's a connection there. If we don't, I haven't set this up right. So let's try it out. Go to this PC. We want to go to command prompt, and we'll say ping. So that's just telling the computer I want to ping another computer. And now we'll give it the IP address of, we'll give it 192.168.2.3. So that's on the other subnet. And we hit enter, and hopefully it works. Okay, so you can see there we've got a reply from 192.168.2.3, 32 bytes, and the time, and that means it is pinged successfully, and it tells us that we have a connection between this PC and this PC on the different networks. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from this video. If you have any comments or want to see more videos, please let me know by commenting and hitting that like button. Thanks so much. Talk soon. Bye.